Welcome one and all to a special edition of the Meaning Stream. All WATTSWAVE, everything. Very glad you're able to be here for this. I mean, what would it be without you? The tree falling with no eardrum to transmute the waves into sound.
Akira.
Ever since I can remember anything at all, the light, the smell, the sound and motion of the sea has been pure magic. Has been pure magic.
Ever since I can remember anything at all, the light, the smell, the sound and motion of the sea has been pure magic. It's been pure magic.
Even the mere intimation of its presence. Gulls flying a little way inland. The quality of light in the sky beyond hills which screen it from view. The lowing of foghorns in the night. If ever I have to get away from it all, and in the words of a Chinese poet, wash all the rungs of life from my pores, there's simply nothing better than to climb out onto a rock and sit for hours with nothing in sight but sea and sky.
Ever since I can remember anything at all, the light, the smell, the sound, the motion of the sea has been pure magic.
It's been pure magic. Although the rhythm of the waves beats a kind of time, it's not clock or calendar time. It has no urgency. It's timeless time. Because I know I'm listening to a rhythm which has been just the same for millions of years. And it takes you out of the world of relentlessly ticking clocks. Clocks, for some reason or other, always seem to be marching, and armies never march to anything but doom. But there's no marching rhythm in the motion of waves. It harmonizes with the breath. It does not count our days. Its pulse is not in the stingy spirit of measuring, of marking out how much still remains. It's the breathing of eternity. Like the Brahma of Indian mythology, who inhales and exhales, manifests and dissolves the worlds, endlessly, forever. As a mere conception, that sounds appallingly monotonous. Until you listen to the breaking and washing of waves.
Ever since I can remember anything at all, the light, the smell, the sound, the motion of the sea has been pure magic. It's been pure magic. Ever since I can remember anything at all, the light, the smell, the sound, the motion of the sea has been pure magic. It has been pure magic. It has been pure magic.
Hey yo! What is up, gang? How you all doing? Welcome to the show. I'm Akira the Don, artist, DJ, Wavelord, architect of this here MEANINGWAVE universe. And this here corner of the MEANINGWAVE universe that we're going to be looking into today is, of course, the WATTSWAVE. The WATTSWAVE area of the MEANINGWAVE universe. So gently tap the like. Alert the homies, we're going deep into the wonderful world of WATTSWAVE. Big shouts out Andrew Pullman, appreciate you. Generously, with generosity, bestowing the gift of sub upon the chat. How very lovely. Shouts out everybody logged in from early. Zen Zero says, WATTSWAVE for life. Shecky says, that's what Shecky said. He said, how great. That Buddha says, WATTSWAVE is my fave. Jackie says, someone over here just complimented Don Tron. Don Tron, this is just, look at this, just scene number 1 of a brand new Don Tron that I put together in the wee hours of this morning. And completed in the wee hours of this afternoon.
Ever since I can remember anything at all, the light, the sound, the motion of the sea, it's been pure magic. And it's been pure magic. And it's been pure. Ever since I can remember anything at all, the light, the sound, the motion of the sea, it's been pure magic. And it's been pure magic. And it's been pure magic.
Akira.
I see you, Shecky, God bless.
The way the world
Hey!
actually is an enormously complex, interrelated organism. The way the world actually is an enormously complex, interrelated organism. The same problem arises in medicine, because the body is a very complexly interrelated organism. And if you look at the body in a superficial way, you may see there's something wrong with it. Here's chickenpox, and there's spots that itch. You might say, well, spots are there, cut them off. So you kill the bug. Well, then you find you've got a real problem. Because you have to introduce some bugs to kill the bug. It's like bringing rabbits into Australia. And that starts going all over the place and getting out of it. But then you think, well, now wait a minute. It wasn't the bugs in the blood. There are bugs all over the place. What was wrong with this person? That his blood system suddenly became vulnerable to those particular bugs. His resistance wasn't up. Therefore, what you should have given was not an antibiotic, but vitamins. Okay, so we're going to build up his resistance. But resistance to what? You may build up resistance to this and this and this class of bugs, but then there's another one that loves that situation. It comes right in. The way the world actually is an enormously complex, interrelated organism. The way the world actually is an enormously complex, interrelated organism. See, we always look at the human being medically in bits and pieces. Because we have heart specialists, lung specialists, bone specialists, nerve specialists, and so on. And so on. And they each see the human being from their point of view. There are a few generalists, but they realize the human body is so complicated that no one mind can understand it. And furthermore, supposing we do succeed in healing all these people of their diseases, what do we then do about the population problem? I mean, we've stopped cholera, the black bubonic plague, we're getting the better of tuberculosis, we may fix cancer and heart disease. Then what will people die of? Well, let us go on living. There'll be enormous quantities of it. Then we have to fix this birth thing. Pills for everybody. Then we find what are the effects, the side effects of those pills? What are the psychological effects upon men and women of not breeding children in the usual way? We don't know.
We don't know.
We don't know. We don't know. We don't know. We don't know. We don't know. The way the world actually is an enormously complex, interrelated organism. The way the world actually is an enormously complex, interrelated organism.
Yeah, it is. Make some noise for the enormously complex, interrelated organism. Shouts out Shecky, very generously gave a sub to somebody, and shouts out Zeus Laser, who very generously did the same thing. You lovely guys. The way the world actually is. The way the world actually is. Wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with shouts out everybody. Castle Survival, any chance of playing the Shadow? Love this Akira, maybe. Appreciate you.
The thing is that we have been educated to use our minds in a certain way, a way that ignores or screens out the fact that every one of us is an aperture through which the whole cosmos looks out. Every one of us is an aperture through which the whole cosmos looks out. You see, it's as if you had a light covered with a black ball. And in this ball were pinholes. And each pinhole is an aperture through which the light comes out. So in that way, every one of us is actually a pinhole through which the fundamental light, that is the existence itself, looks out. Only the game we're playing is not to know this. To be only that little hole, which we call me, my ego, my specific John Jones, or whatever. Every one of us is an aperture through which the whole cosmos looks out. Every one of us is an aperture through which the whole cosmos looks out. If we can maintain at the same time the sense of being this specific John Jones with his role in life, or whatever, and know also underneath this that we are the whole works, you get a very marvelous and agreeable arrangement. A most remarkable harmoniousness. I mean, it gives one's life a great sense of joy and exuberance if you can carry on these two things at once. If you, in other words, you know that all the serious predicaments of life are a game. Every one of us is an aperture through which the whole cosmos looks out. Every one of us is an aperture through which the whole cosmos looks out.
Make some noise, my fellow apertures. How you all doing out there? An aperture. Is this some dreams? I do. So many wonderful Watt songs. I've been noticing recently, we've been doing a lot of streams, and I keep seeing I'm like, look at all these great Watt songs I want to play that are eternally relevant. Bad Buddha says, feeling fine, fellow aperture. Don. Hey, thanks. Shecky says, I love this one. Zen Zero says, every one of us.
The great problem is how to get that higher self working. How does it make any difference to what you do and what you think? I know all kinds of people who've got this higher self going, practicing their yoga, but they're just like ordinary people. Sometimes a little worse. And they can fool themselves. Fool themselves. They can fool themselves.
They can say, for example, well, my point of view in religion is very liberal. I believe that all religions have divine revelation in them. But I don't understand the way you people will fight about it. You fight, say that we, Jehovah's Witnesses, have the real religion. The real religion. Others say, well, we Roman Catholics have it. And the Muslims say, no, it is in the Quran. And this is the right way. 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 And somebody else gets up, and he may be a rather highbrow Catholic, and say, well, God has given the Spirit through all the traditions, but ours is the most refined and mature. And then somebody comes along and says, well, as I said, they're all equally revelations of the divine. And in seeing this, of course, I'm much more tolerant than you are. You see? How that game is going to work? See, I could take this position. Supposing you regard me as some sort of a guru, and you know how gurus hate each other. They're always putting each other down. And I could say, well, I don't put other gurus down. See, that outwits all of them. See, we're always doing that. We're always finding a way to be one up. And by the most incredibly subtle means. So you see that, you see? And you say, I realize I'm always doing that. And tell me, how do I not do that? How do I not do that? This is the right
the reason you want to be better is the reason why you aren't. We aren't better because we want to be. Because the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Because all the do-gooders in the world, whether they're doing good for others or doing it for themselves, are troublemakers. On the basis that kindly let me help you or you'll drown, said the monkey, putting the fish safely up a tree. Kindly let me help you or you'll drown, said the monkey, putting the fish safely up a tree. Kindly let me help you or you'll drown, said the monkey, putting the fish safely up a tree. Kindly let me help you or you'll drown, said the monkey, putting the fish safely up a tree.
Kindly let me help you or you'll drown. Kindly let me help you or you'll drown. Kindly let me help you or you'll drown. Kindly let me help you or you'll drown,
said the monkey, putting the fish safely up a tree.
Kindly let me help you or you'll drown,
said the monkey, putting the fish safely up a tree.
Kindly let me help you or you'll drown,
said the monkey, putting the fish safely up a tree. Kindly let me help you or you'll drown, said the monkey, putting the fish safely.
How you guys doing out there? Welcome. All WATTSWAVE everything tonight. That Buddha says MEANINGWAVE is the right way. Amazing Random Product says Akira times Watts, there is no better cola. Adrian Kim says there are other artists making songs using Watts, but none are as smooth as ATD. I wouldn't know, I've not heard. Actually, no, I did hear. I heard Homie from Glitch Mob did that meditation one, which was very nice. It was like an ambient thing, it was nice. Free Consciousness, what's up? Says we have fun. Selena, what's cracking? Speaking of supporting MEANINGWAVE, I'd love to see a return of the Velvet tracksuit. Funny you should mention that. I was just checking out my WATTSWAVE zip-up velvet hoodie. And yes, I concur. It is time to see if we can get that velvet back. Chris Dubendorf just dropped a sub on the chat. Very lovely of you, Chris. Thank you. Banalope, I am not exaggerating when I say WATTSWAVE 4 Dreams changed my brain at a fundamental level. Thank you, Akira. Thank you, MEANINGWAVE. It is an honor to be of use in the epic story of your life. Amazing Random Product says, God darn, the Dontron is so epic. Ain't it beautiful? Dontron is a beautiful thing. Max says, much love from Alaska. Glad we caught the tail end of the stream. Is it the tail end? No, we just kicked up. We just started. I feel we just started. You're early, don't you worry. Shouts out to everyone who was at the pop-up last night. We had like a 2 a.m. pop-up. Played a brand new single that's coming out tomorrow night. You missed that, check it on the replay.
There's a myth. There is in the beginning the divine bird which lays the egg of the world. And the egg splits. And the upper is the heavens and the lower is the earth. So when the worlds are manifested, the Lord breathing out says, hum. And when the worlds are withdrawn, the breath comes back. Hung, sa, hung, it becomes sa, hung, sa, sa, ahung. That means, sa means that, the truth, ahung, I am that. Imagine when we get to the final moment in which the world is blown up. Imagine the countdown. This is the end. Sa, Somebody push the button. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, sit and listen to the little waves on the seashore. You'll get back here into this kind of thinking and you're hearing the ocean of the universe going. And that's your breathing too. It's all one rhythm. So it may be that every star was once a planet populated by intelligent people who found out about the fundamental energy of the universe, blew themselves up. And as they blew up, they scattered all kinds of stuff out which became little planets. Which in a long time, life started all over again.
Sound of the waves. Man, so many bangers in this Meaning Wave mansion room. Mansion room, one of the many mansions in the Meaning Wave house. Make some noise for yourselves. This also, by the way, this stream marks an auspicious occasion. Usually around this time, I would introduce our sponsor.
MEANINGWAVE.com, because happiness is a side effect of meaning.
That's right. Meaning Wave is is a great thing. However, we have today a brand new sponsor. And when I say brand new sponsor, I would say actually our first sponsor. It's not ourselves. Ladies and gentlemen, Datsusara is a proud sponsor of the Meaning stream. And, Datsusara is a company whose products I've been using for many years. They make hemp, clothing, and sort of accessories, bags, gis, stuff to wear to the gym. I have been wearing a Datsusara fanny pack, they call them in the USA. That's a bum bag for years. I've swum in it, I've walked in the ocean with it, I've had it for years and years and years. And today I'm proud to announce that Datsusara are sponsoring this broadcast. Check out dsgear.com to check out their stuff, which is great and handmade in the USA. They have martial arts stuff. If you need a gi, they've got very nice gis. If you need bags, they have very nice bags. This was my... Oh, I forgot. So mine is the Joe Rogan fanny pack. I forgot it was a Joe Rogan fanny pack. It's a fanny pack. Anyway, it's great. This one is amazing. Incredibly powerful quality, incredibly rugged. I wore this thing for years and years and years. They've got loads of nice stuff. You should go check them out at dsgear.com. What did that say? Strong, antimicrobial, sustainable, made out of hemp, right? Rugged. They got sweatshorts, and that gentleman there is the guy whose company it is. He's a lovely gentleman called Chris, who has been a long time supporter of Meaning Wave. I went on his podcast one time. I think you can see that on YouTube somewhere. And amazingly, I hit him up because we'd been talking about doing this, and I said, I was thinking of doing it for this one tonight. And he pointed out that Watts, I don't know if he came to Meaning Wave via Watts, but he's been a long time admirer of Watts for decades. And his ideal dinner guests, he told me, would be Alan Watts and Joseph Campbell. So check out dsgear.com. Support those who support Meaning Wave and get yourself some fine hemp sustainable swag. dsgear.com, because do they have a tag? They need. What's your tag, dsgear? That's a sir, because Eddie Bravo was right. Once again, thank you, Desasera, for sponsoring this broadcast.
What are you listening to? Sound of the wave. Sound of the wave. Sound of the wave. What are you listening to? Sound of the wave. Sound of the wave. Sound of the wave. What are you listening to?
Sound of the waves.
Sound of the wave.
Young Cactus, what a lovely surprise to tune into on a beach trip.
What are you listening to?
Bannerlope says congrats on the sponsor. JC the Lionheart says praise be to the sponsors, which is a very good point. Paul Arthur Martin says shouts out to @Radio Dell. Wait, is he in the chat? Or has someone just found him? Down to the waves. Needs no translation.
We've discussed the web from 3 points of view. As an analogy of the selective operation of our senses and mind, whereby certain things in the world are picked out as significant according to certain game rules. The game that we are playing mostly is the survival game. That is to say, the game ought to go on. The way we play the survival game has a kind of element in it which makes it difficult, because we tend to say the first rule of this game is that it's serious. And that messes the whole thing up. So you have to watch out, in other words, when you play, for contradictory game rules, self-contradictory game rules. Because if you get mixed up into them, the game ceases to be worth the candle. You start straining at doing something, then it just isn't worth it. Then the second thing that we observed was the web as an analogy of mutual interdependence. We could call it the idea that all existence is relative, that all existence is transaction. The transaction being typically exemplified by, say, the operation of buying and selling, in which there can be no buying without somebody selling, and there can be no selling without somebody else buying. That kind of interdependence of the inside going together with the outside. What is in you going together with what is outside you is absolutely fundamental to existence. It is existence. Existence is relativity. Existence is relativity. Existence is relativity. What is in you going together with what is outside you is absolutely fundamental to existence. It is existence. Existence is relativity. Existence is relativity. Existence is relativity. Then we explored the web as a trap. The spider's web. Won't you come into my parlor, said the spider to the fly. And we saw what would look at all of life from the point of view that it is original selfishness and original hunger. And we found that if you take that point of view to its ultimate extreme, it dissolves. And it isn't so bad after all. Shakespeare says, it is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. When it's put that way, it doesn't seem so bad after all. What is in you going together with what is outside you is absolutely fundamental to existence. It is existence. Existence is relativity. Existence is relativity. Existence is relativity. What is in you going together with what is outside you is absolutely fundamental to existence. It is existence. Existence is relativity. Existence is relativity. Existence is relativity. I remember that I had a Zen master friend who wrote a letter to a friend of mine which was passed on to me. This friend of mine was aspiring to be a writer, and he was trying to write novels that would put across Buddhism to people. Sugar the pill. And my Zen master friend didn't approve of this at all. He said, don't write any story to people. Write it to the great sky. Because all the real masters of literature, especially novelists and storytellers, are great masters of nonsense. Think of Lewis Carroll. You can use Lewis Carroll, and he did use Alice in Wonderland, as a Zen textbook. 'Twas brillig and the slithy toes that gyre and gimble in the wave. That's Zen. I had a discussion with a great master in Japan. We were talking about the various people who are working to translate the Zen books into English. He said, that's a waste of time. If you really understand Zen, he said, you can use any book. You could use the Bible. You could use Alice in Wonderland. You could use the dictionary. Because, he said, the sound of the rain needs no translation. The sound of the rain needs no translation. The sound of the rain needs no translation. The sound of the rain needs no translation.
Of the rain, the sound of the rain,
So what does the rain say? Evening rain. It is the banana leaf that speaks of it first. You see, that's the point. And all the talk in the world doesn't get it unless you listen to the talk in a new way. The sound of the rain needs no translation. The sound of the rain needs no translation. The sound of the rain needs no translation. The sound of the rain needs no translation.
the sound of the rain needs no translation. Absolute immortal masterpiece, classic type situation. That sound good, gosh. Shouts out to everybody locked in. How you guys doing? We haven't done the international high five. We need to do the international high five. For the international high five, do me a favor. Let me know where you are and what's your favorite whatsism or thing about what's. Castle One Survival says, do Datsusara ship to the UK? I think so. And it also says, could the sponsor be put in the description? It is in the description. Thank you for asking. It is there, and I've also put it in the chat as a pinned comment. So you can go check that out. Skipper Films 209 says existence is relativity, which is a very good point. Mac 907 says Nirvana is found in the now, not the when or how. God bless all. Exactly. I'm going to sneeze. How about that? Yo! JC Lionheart says the sound water is not water. That's right. Karen Pavelek 3235. No translation. Exactly. Shaky says right on. Castle One Survival is in Scotland, and I love his readings on Carl Jung. Yeah, me too. The Wolf is one of I believe one of Meaningwave's slept on greats. I might play something from that later. Might play the whole thing. Matthew W. Kane is in New York, says Prickles and Goose. Billy Idol says you're so nice. Everyone's so nice, right? Here in the Meaningwave, autonomous zone of Meaningwave. Here in Meaning Lands, the rolling hills of Meaning. Everyone's so very lovely. Paul Arthur Martin, New Mexico, let me in. Shecky says Cozy Hills, in Cozy Hills, says his laugh is very nice. It is. Rob DeCajun, Franklin, Tennessee. Man, I need to go there. Why is it in... Hang on a sec. Dontron is unnecessarily... excitable right now. This is better. We need a calm Dontra. What's all that extra noise? Do you hear that? Maybe it's just me. I knew what that was. That was my noise button. You hear that? It just creates noise. Levels of noise. Gone now. See, no noise. Anyway, yeah, every time I look on like FB Marketplace thing, all the cool stuff is out in Franklin. Because I don't know why. There's always like just cool stuff that I want in Franklin on Facebook Marketplace. People like giving away a piano and shit like that. Hello, Millie Muffin says bless you. Hey, thanks. Skipper also said bless you. Thank you for all the blessings. They do help. Blessings are very useful. Chris Dubendorf says powerful. Amanda Dances in Kansas likes Watts Cackle. Bad Buddha, Port Mac, Australia. Atman is Brahman. JT Lionheart says love from New Jersey. I like how Watts went to the next dimension on his own terms. His own terms. Giselle. Castle One Survivor says, I saw an eclipse today. That is auspicious. JC Lionheart says, the wolf. Dewey Vid says, I like how Alan Watts can express things in a way that many people cannot. I like, me too. Someone was asking me recently, like, what do I like about Watts? So one of the things I really like about Watts is his ability to communicate fundamental, I would say inarguable fundamental truths in a plain and fully graspable manner. Seemingly complex, esoteric, what are actually fundamental, boring ass truths. Communicated in a plain and easily understandable and fun manner. Alan Watts, of course, is a great entertainer. You might even say he's an entertainist. King Kiwi says, exhale the breath. Castle Survivor says, the wolf is a fav. Greenbirds and Fam is in Montana. I like it when you see people that you see at 2 in the morning, also at like 8 in the evening, and you're like, very impressive work. Very impressive work. Very impressive work. Shaky Pelvis says, nicest chat ever. Ever! Andrew Pillman in Australia, I love Watt's sense of humour. His talking is like a blend of philosophy and stand-up. Exactly that. He's an entertainist. Free Consciousness says, oh my gosh, my car battery just died. I had to ask a kind stranger for a jump start. Did they give it you? See the kindness of strangers. Shouts out. To the kindness of strangers. And I hope everything is all sorted with your car, Free Consciousness. Zeus Lasers in the building, Arkansas. This is why I love the ocean. This is why I love the sea. Zen Zero, Massachusetts. The wisdom of Watts. I wonder, I wonder, I wonder, I wonder, I wonder. Mr. Devs 96, Siamese twins in Saigon. Icarus just shines on. Let bygones be bygones. Flaming out, hitting pylons. That's right, Adrian Kim, South Florida. JBP wave number 6, confront the track and get the gold. Was Watts mentioned there? Perhaps he was. Baby, I think we are ready. Amanda Dances out in Kansas. Just dropped 5 subs on the chat. So nice. Nice. Yo, we gotta do. We don't go to. We get to do an international high five. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1. Hey!
I wonder what you would do if you had the power to dream any dream you wanted. I wonder what you would do if you had the power to dream any dream you wanted. And you would, of course, be able to alter your time sense. And slip, say, 75 years of subjective time into 8 hours of sleep. You would, I suppose, start out by fulfilling all your wishes. You could design for yourself what would be the most ecstatic life. Love affairs, banquets, dancing girls, wonderful journeys, love affairs, banquets, dancing girls, wonderful journeys, gardens, music beyond belief. Music beyond belief. Music beyond belief. I wonder what you would do if you had the power to dream any dream you wanted. I wonder what you would do if you had the power to dream any dream you wanted. Any dream you wanted to. Any dream you wanted. Any dream you wanted. I wonder what you would do if you had the power to dream any dream you wanted. And then after a couple of months of this sort of thing at 75 years a night, you would be getting a little taste for something different. You would move over to an adventurous dimension. There are certain dangers involved, and the thrill of dealing with dangers. And you could rescue princesses from dragons, and go on dangerous journeys, make wonderful explosions and blow them up. Eventually get into contest with enemies. And after you've done that for some time, you'd think up a new wrinkle. To forget that you were dreaming. So that you would think it was all for real. And to be anxious about it. Because it'd be so great when you woke up. I wonder what you would do if you had the power to dream any dream you wanted. I wonder what you would do if you had the power to dream any dream you wanted. Any dream you wanted to. Any dream you wanted to. Any dream you wanted to. I wonder what you would do if you had the power to dream any dream you wanted to. And then you'd say, well, like children who dare each other on things, how far out could you get? What could you take? What dimension of being lost, of abandonment of your power, what dimension of that could you stand? You could ask yourself this, because you know you'd eventually wake up. After you'd gone on doing this, you see, for some time, you would suddenly...
Hey, what's up, Green Buds? Appreciate you.
Around in this room, with all your personal involvement, etc., talking with me. How do you know that's not what you're doing? Could be. Because after all, what would you do if you were God? I wonder what you would do if you had the power to dream any dream you wanted. I wonder what you would do if you had the power to dream any dream you wanted. Any dream you wanted. Any dream you wanted. Any dream you wanted. I wonder what you would do if you had the power to dream any dream you wanted.
Whoa.
What you would do if you had the power to dream any dream you wanted to. What you would do if you had the power to dream any dream you wanted to. 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 I wonder what you would do.
Hey.
If you had the power to dream any dream you wanted to. I wonder what you would do.
What would you do? What's up? Shout to Annie Green, what's up? Classic OG Banger says free consciousness, that's right. I wonder.
What would you do if you were God?
What would you do if you were God? What would you do if you were God? What would you do if you were God? What would you do if you were God?
What would you do if you were God?
WATTSWAVE Dreams. Technically the first WATTSWAVE album, following 3 amazing mixtapes. Imitate Christ, what's cracking? Says, what a blessed community we have here. Ain't that the truth? Shouts out to one and all. As always, it is lovely hanging out with you. A joy, a blessing, and a privilege. Let's go.
Do you want grace? Well, ask God. Maybe he'll give it to you. And the theologian will tell you, yes, God gives his grace freely. He gives it to all because he loves all. It's here like the air. All you have to do is receive it. Or a more Orthodox, a Catholic Christian would say, all you have to do is to be baptized, to take the holy sacrament of the altar, the bread and wine, the body and blood of Christ, and there is the grace right there.
And it's given by these simple physical means so that it's very easily and readily available. Well, a lot of people got baptized. And it doesn't always take. People fall from grace. Why do they? You see, we're just talking about the same old problem. But we've put it a step up. But it's the same problem. You want grace. How can I accept grace? They're both the same problem. Because you got to make a move. Which will put yourself out of your own control into the control of a better. If you don't believe in the Christian kind of a God, you can believe in the Hindu kind of a God, who is your inner self. You see, you've got a lower self, which you can call your ego. That's that little scoundrelous fellow. It's always out for me. But behind the ego, there is the Atman, the inner self, the inward light, as Quakers would call it, the real self, the spirit, which is substantially identical with God. So you've got to meditate in such a way that you identify with your higher self. How do you do that? Well, you start by watching all your thoughts very carefully, watching your feelings, watching your emotions, so that you begin to build up a sense of separation between the watcher and what is watched. Do you want grace? Do you want grace? Do you want grace? Do you want grace?
Hey, yo, what's grace? Make some noise if you want grace.
So that you are, as it were, no longer carried away by your own stream of consciousness. You remain the witness, impassively, impartially, suspending judgment and watching it all go on. That seems to be something like progress. At least you're taking an objective view of what is going on. Of what is going on. You are beginning to be in a position to control it. But just wait a minute. Who is this self behind the self? The watching self. Can you watch that one? It's interesting if you do. Because you find out, of course, that this is just as the problem of grace is nothing more than a transposition of the first problem. How am I to be unselfish? By my own power. It becomes how am I to get grace by my own power.
What's up? How you doing out there? What's up, Red Cloud Lord? What up, Mac? Sagittag, Shecky. Shouts out to everybody locked in. Remember, if you want to own any of these records on record, we do have some What's records available on record. Very amazing. At meaningwave.com, you can get the Web of Life 1 and 2 on very luxurious double-colored vinyl. Luxurious double-colored vinyl. Which is very, very crazy and beautiful. Look at that. Look at that luxurious double-colored vinyl. Absolutely wild. Those are in our, what's it called? Place where we keep vinyl in Texas. So if you order one of those, they'll get sent out right away. How about that? And we also have a couple of 7-inches. No, one 7-inch. One Watts 7-inch. Which has got time on it, and on the B-side it's got Life Is Not a Journey. It's down there. It's very nice. And in other Watts music stuff, you can also, if you so wish, get the all the Watts songs in a handy digital bundle, which costs half of what it would if you bought it on, say, iTunes or individually on Bandcamp. Just $33. You get all of the Meaning Wave Watts material to download. Isn't that nice? Meaningwave.com, because happiness is a side effect of meaning. And if you just joined us, the show today is sponsored by Datsusara. Datsusara are makers of fine hemp apparel. Big fans of Meaning Wave, long-time supporters and fans of the show, and today our sponsor. Go check them out for all your hemp apparel requirements. I personally have been using one of their fanny packs for like 5 years. And it has been all over the world. It has been through the jungles of Mexico, the oceans of all over, many oceans. And it is as rugged and powerful as one could possibly want from a fanny pack, which is what these things are called, isn't it? A fanny pack. It's also, I didn't even realize, so I was looking recently, it's the Joe Rogan fanny pack. It's a compact fanny pack designed as suggested by Joe Rogan himself. He likes a lower profile option most days versus our full-size Joe Rogan utility belt. There's like Batman utility belts over here. It's crazy. Featuring our signature hemp blend fabric, so it's naturally durable, antimicrobial, and sustainable. Are you kidding me or what? Anyway, go check out dsgear.com because they're the sponsors of our show, and that's very nice of them, isn't it? Isn't that cool? Sponsoring Meaning Wave, imagine that. Hi, Shecky. I'm so glad I bought that Web of Life tee. Oh my... Yeah, I bet you are. Benelope is in the chat saying, what is something that made you smile most recently, Prue? That's a good question, isn't it? I've been smiling all day. Lots of things made me smile today. Even things that normally would make me not smile today that happened didn't bother me much. Did not bother me today that much. Something happened today that on previous days of my life would have sent me into an absolute raging frenzy. And I was like, oh, well, okay. What you gonna do? Lots of lovely things have occurred, so why am I going to concern myself with the unlovely thing? Cool sponsor, says Chris Dubendorf. Well, I always said I could only have a sponsor if it was something that I actually used and aligned with and all that sort of thing. And that sort of thing is actually relatively rare. Andrew Pullman says, are you kidding me? Or what? Exactly.
Akira.
He's got clout.
Cuckoo.
The Web of Life. Let me try from the first to indicate the point that we're aiming at. The point is this, that human consciousness is at the same time as being a form of awareness and sensitivity and understanding. It's also a form of ignorance. The ordinary everyday consciousness that we have leaves out than it takes in. The ordinary, everyday consciousness that we have leaves out more than it takes in. And because of this, it leaves out things that are terribly important. It leaves out things that would, if we did know them, allay our anxieties and fears and horrors. And if we could extend our awareness, you see, to include those things that we leave out, we would have a deep interior peace. Because we would all know the one thing that you mustn't know. The ordinary, everyday consciousness that we have leaves out more than it takes in. The ordinary, everyday consciousness that we have leaves out more, you know, according to the rules of our particular social game. One thing you mustn't know, that's really not allowed, that is the lowdown on life. And then the lowdown, on the one hand, means the real dirt on things. But the lowdown is also what is profound, what is mysterious, what is in the depths. And there's something left out. And our everyday consciousness screens this out in the same way that when you say you have weaving, you have, say, on this rug here in front of us, when the black finishes here, the black threads will go underneath and then appear again over here, then they'll go underneath the white and then they'll appear again over here, you know? So that the back will be the obverse pattern of the front. Now, the world is like that. The ordinary, everyday consciousness that we have leaves out more than it takes in. The ordinary, everyday consciousness that we have leaves out more than it takes in. Our sense organs are selective. They pick out certain things. They're receptive. For example, we have a small band, what you might call a spectrum of light, of sound, of tactile sensation, and so on, to which the human organism is sensitive. But we know that outside that small band, there is a human organs are selective. They pick out certain things like cosmic rays, ultraviolet rays, gamma rays, hard X-rays, and so on. They're all outside the band of our spectrum. And obviously, there are things that are outside the range of our instruments. We may build new instruments someday which will evoke, bring into our consciousness other orders of vibration altogether. But yet, as yet, we don't know about. So you could imagine, you see, the universe is a vast, vast system of vibrations. And has infinite possibilities. All these vibrations, you know, are like the strings on a harp. And the harps that the angels are supposed to play in heaven are really this huge possibility. See, when you play the harp, you select strings. You don't play all the strings. It's stupid to just run your finger along the whole edge of the harp, back and forth, and go. What you do is you pick out with your fingers, select, just like on the piano, you know, go. You pick out certain notes, and these make the patterns. But at the same time as you pick out, you reject what you don't pick out. but it's all there, constituting a fundamental continuity, the kind of continuity of the thread as they go to the back of the woven material and make up the obverse of the pattern that's on the front. Now, the question that is absolutely basic for all human beings is, what have you left out? What have you left out? What have you left out? Really? You are focused on certain things that constitute what you call everyday reality. Look, you single out people and you see them sitting all around. Sitting all around. And you know there are things that are really there. And then behind the people are the houses or whatever we live in, the earth, and behind all that the sky, and so on. But we see the world as a collection of rather disjointed events and things. And I might say to you as you came in here today, now, my goodness, you all forgot something. What did you forget? And you think, my goodness, did I put pants on? Did I wear a sweater? Did I put my glasses and my hair on, or my wig or whatever? No, it's none of that. Or something you forgot. See, everybody's forgotten something. You left it out. Just missed it. See? And so I can bring this out, what you've forgotten, if I ask you, who are you? Well, you say, I'm Paul Jones, or whatever your name happens to be. I say, oh, no, don't give me that stuff. Who are you, really? Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Who are you, really?
Who are you really? Who are you really? From the album, what was that from? The Web of Life. That was The Web of Life, wasn't it? What a great album. Shouts out everybody locked in. People in the chat were asking about instrumentals. I do believe Selena was asking about instrumental playlist. Is there a playlist? Could there be a playlist with all the instrumentals so you could randomize it? Yes, that exists. We do have that. So I dropped a link in the chat to that and a couple of other instrumental playlists, but there's a bunch of instrumental playlists on Spotify and other places. So you can, and here on YouTube as well. Also, if you go to meaningwave.com, there's a section on there which has playlists in it, so you can find the links to the playlists there. But yes, we do have a playlist with every single Meaning Wave instrumental. We have another one that is all the lo-fi-esque beats. We have one called That Golden Sound, which contains all the instrumentals that I feel fall under the umbrella of that, what I call That Golden Sound. You know it when you hear it. And there's a bunch of others as well. So if you go have a look around on wherever you listen to Akira the Don, you will find playlists. And if you go to meaningwave.com, you'll find them there. And we are working on building a system that will have everything all in one place. And as always, if you want anything that doesn't, just let me know. We'll see if we can make it exist. If you want it to exist, no doubt other people will also want it to exist. That's like one of them rules in life. Yeah. Jacob2456 says, did you sing Ukulele Sunset? Well, that is one of my tracks. pretty sure it's an instrumental. Do I sing on it? I honestly, off the top of my head, can't remember. But it's most likely that that is the case. Shecky says, insanely great string. Love you. Yeah, no, that is rule number one. I told that to my son. If there's ever something that you wish existed and it doesn't exist, then one thing you could do is make it exist. And surely other people will be glad that you did. That's how I came up with MEANINGWAVE. Do things that are delightful to you. How about that for a flipping segue?
He's got
To spread joy, you have to have it. To impart delight, you have to be more or less delightful.
Yes, you do.
And to be delightful is not some factor of trying to make yourself look delightful.
It is
to do things that are delightful to you. Do things that are delightful to you.
Whoa!
Do things that are delightful to you. You become thereby delightful to others. It is to do things that are delightful to you. Do things that are delightful to you. Do things that are delightful to you. You become thereby delightful to others.
Whoa!
That's to say, people who are interesting are people who are interested. Any person, for example, who is constantly thinking about all sorts of other things and other people and so on, because they're fascinating, becomes a fascinating person. But a person who doesn't think about anybody else and who's got very little going on inside their skull is boring. So in other words, your engagement with the external world, the more you are involved, the more your personality is enriched. Do things that are delightful to you.
Right.
Do things that are delightful to you. Do things that are delightful to you. You become thereby delightful to others. Do things that are delightful to you. Do things that are delightful to you. Do things that are delightful to you. You become thereby delightful to others. But if you try to enrich your personality by taking a course in how to win friends and influence people, or how to be a real person, you'll become just a washout. You'll be like somebody trying to get a good nutrition by biting his nails, and then the fingers next, and then half an arm gone and so on. You're entirely nourishing yourself with yourself.
Yeah.
Now, of course, on a vast scale, the universe does that. It eats itself up. That's why the symbol of the snake swallowing its tail is a very fundamental, archaic symbol of life. But the way it's done is that the snake has in some part of the ring a place where it's not sensitive. It's called the unconscious. Where it doesn't know that what comes to it in the form of food is actually what left it in the form of excrement. That thing is... Don't mention it. After all, as the Lord said at the beginning of the universe, you must draw the line somewhere. Do things that are delightful to you. Do things that are delightful to you. Do things that are delightful to you. You become thereby delightful to others. Do things that are delightful to you. Do things that are delightful to you. Do things that are delightful to you. You become thereby delightful to others.
one of the very great things that C.G. Jung contributed to mankind's understanding was the concept of the shadow. That everybody has a shadow, and that the main task of the psychotherapist is to do what he called to integrate the evil, to, as it were, put the devil in us in its proper function. Because you see, it's always the devil, the unacknowledged one, the outcast, the scapegoat, the bastard, the bad guy, you see, the black sheep of the family. It's always from that point, which we could call the fly in the ointment, you see, that generation comes. In other words, in the same way as in the drama, to have the play, it's necessary to introduce a villain. It's necessary to introduce a certain element of trouble. So, in the whole scheme of life, there has to be the shadow. The shadow. The bastard, the bad guy, the black sheep of the family. The shadow. Integrate the evil. Integrate the evil. The shadow. The bastard, the bad guy, the black sheep of the family. The shadow. Everybody has a shadow, because without the shadow, there can't be the substance. So this is why there is a very strange association between crime and all naughty things and holiness. You see, holiness is way beyond being good. Good people aren't necessarily holy people. A holy person is one who is whole, who has, as it were, reconciled his opposites. And so there's always something slightly scary about holy people. And other people react to them in very strange ways. They can't make up their mind whether they're saints or devils. So holy people have, throughout history, always created a great deal of trouble, along with their creative results. Take Jesus, for example. Trouble that Jesus created is absolutely incalculable. Think of the Crusades, the Inquisition, heaven only knows what's gone on in the name of Jesus. Freud's a big troublemaker, as well as a great healer, you see. It all goes together. The shadow. The bastard, the bad guy, the black sheep of the family. The shadow. Integrate the evil. Integrate the evil. The shadow. The bastard, the bad guy, the black sheep of the family. The shadow. Everybody has a shadow, because without the shadow, we can't be the substance. Holy person is scary, because he is like the earthquakes, or better still, he's like the ocean. See the ocean on a lovely sunny day, you can say, oh, isn't that gorgeous? And you can go into it and relax and float around. But boy, when the storm comes, does that thing get mad? It's terrifying. So there is in us the ocean, you see. Jung felt that the whole point was to bring the two together by a kind of fantastic honesty, to penetrate one's own motivations to the depths. Jung I want to read a passage from one of his lectures, which I think is one of the greatest things he ever wrote, and which has been a very marvelous thing for me. People forget that even doctors have moral scruples, and that certain patients' confessions are hard even for a doctor to swallow. Yet the patient does not feel himself accepted, unless the very worst of him is accepted too. Unless the very worst of him is accepted too. Yet the patient does not feel himself accepted, unless the very worst of him is accepted too. No one can bring this about by mere words. It comes only through reflection, and through the doctor's attitude towards himself and his own dark side. If the doctor wants to guide another, or even accompany him a step of the way, he must feel with that person's psyche when he passes judgment. Unless the very worst of him is accepted too. Unless the very worst of him is accepted too. Yet the patient does not feel himself accepted, unless the very worst of him is accepted too. Whether he puts his judgments into words or keeps them to himself makes not the slightest difference. To take the opposite position and to agree with the patient offhand is also of no use. Feeling comes only through unprejudiced objectivity. This sounds almost like a scientific precept, and it could be confused with a purely intellectual, abstract attitude of mind. But what I mean is something quite different. It is a human quality, a kind of deep respect for the facts, for the man who suffers from them, and for the riddle of such a man's life. The truly religious person has this attitude. He knows that God has brought all sorts of strange and inconceivable things to pass, and seeks in the most curious ways to enter a man's heart. He therefore senses in everything the unseen presence of the divine will. Unless the very worst of him is accepted too. Unless the very worst of him is accepted too. Yet the patient does not feel himself accepted, unless the very worst of him is accepted too. Unless the very worst of him is accepted too. Unless the very worst of him is accepted too. Yet the patient does not feel himself accepted, unless the very worst of him is accepted too. This is what I mean by unprejudiced objectivity. It is a moral achievement on the part of the doctor, who ought not to let himself be repelled by sickness and corruption.
Akira.
We cannot change anything unless we accept it. We cannot change anything unless we accept it. Unless we accept it. Unless we accept it. We cannot change anything unless we accept it. Condemnation does not liberate. It oppresses. I am the oppressor of the person I condemn, not his friend and fellow sufferer. Fellow sufferer. I do not in the least mean to say that we must not pass judgment when we desire to help and improve. But if the doctor wishes to help a human being, he must be able to accept him as he is. And he can do this in reality only when he has already seen and accepted himself as he is. As he is. Perhaps this sounds very simple, but simple things are always the most difficult. In actual life, it requires the greatest art to be simple. And so acceptance of oneself is the essence of the moral problem and the acid test of one's whole outlook on life. We cannot change anything unless we accept it. We cannot change anything unless we accept it. Unless we accept it. Unless we accept it. We cannot change anything unless we accept it. That I feed the beggar, that I forgive an insult, that I love my enemy in the name of Christ, all these are undoubtedly great virtues. What I do unto the least of my brethren, that I do unto Christ. But what if I should discover that the least amongst them all, the poorest of all beggars, the most impudent of all offenders, yea, the very fiend himself, that these are within me, and that I myself stand in need of the arms of my own kindness, that I myself am the enemy who must be loved, what then? Then, as a rule, the whole truth of Christianity is reversed. There is then no more talk of love and long-suffering. We say to the brother within us, Raka, and condemn and rage against ourselves. We hide him from the world. We deny ever having met this least among the lowly in ourselves, and had it been God himself who drew near to us in this despicable form, we should have denied him 1,000 times before a single cock had crowed. We cannot change anything unless we accept it. We cannot change anything unless we accept it. Unless we accept it. Unless we accept it. We cannot change anything unless we accept it. We cannot change anything unless we accept it. We cannot change anything unless we accept it. Unless we accept it. Unless we accept it. We cannot change anything unless we accept it.
MEANINGWAVE! Make some noise. All them watts emojis in the chat. All them wave emojis in the chat. You're listening to the Wolf EP. Akira the Don, Alan Watts, Carl Young, CJ Young, as Watts like to call him. That's a good homie to have.
Healing may be called, Jung says, a religious problem. In the sphere of social or national relations, the state of suffering may be civil war, and this state is to be cured by the Christian virtue of forgiveness and love of one's enemies. That which we recommend with the conviction of good Christians is applicable to external situations, we must also apply inwardly in the treatment of neurosis. This is why modern man has heard enough about guilt and sin. He is sorely beset by his own bad conscience, and wants rather to know how he is to reconcile himself with his own nature, how he is to love the enemy in his own heart and call the wolf his brother, to reconcile himself with his own nature, how he is to love the enemy in his own heart and call the wolf his brother. The modern man does not want to know in what way he can imitate Christ, but in what way he can live his own individual life, however meager and uninteresting it may be. It is because every form of imitation seems to him deadening and sterile that he rebels against the force of tradition that would hold him to well-trodden ways. All such roads for him lead in the wrong direction. He may not know it, but he behaves as if his own individual life were God's special will which must be fulfilled at all costs. This is the source of his egoism, which is one of the most tangible evils of the neurotic state. But the person who tells him he is too egoistic has already lost his confidence, and rightly so, for that person has driven him still further into his neurosis. How he is to reconcile himself with his own nature, how he is to love the enemy in his own heart and call the wolf his brother, to reconcile himself with his own nature, how he is to love the enemy in his own heart and call the wolf his brother. If I wish to effect a cure for my patients, I am forced to acknowledge the deep significance of their egoism. I should be blind indeed if I did not recognize it as a true will of God. I must even help the patient to prevail in his egoism. If he succeeds in this, he estranges himself from other people. He drives them away, and they come to themselves as they should, for they were seeking to rob him of his sacred egoism. This must be left to him, for it is his strongest and healthiest power. It is, as I have said, a true will of God, which sometimes drives him into complete isolation. However wretched this state may be, it also stands in good stead. For in this way alone can he get to know himself and learn what an invaluable treasure is the love of his fellow beings. It is, moreover, only in the state of complete abandonment and loneliness that we experience the helpful powers of our own natures. How he is to reconcile himself with his own nature. How he is to love the enemy in his own heart and call the wolf his brother. To reconcile himself with his own nature. How he is to love the enemy in his own heart and call the wolf his brother. To reconcile himself with his own nature. How he is to love the enemy in his own heart and call the wolf his brother. To reconcile himself with his own nature. How he is to love the enemy in his own heart and call the wolf his brother.
How he is to recognize. How he is to recognize.
When one has several times seen this development at work, one can no longer deny that what was evil has turned to good, and that what seemed good has kept alive the forces of evil. The archdemon of egoism leads us along the royal road to that ingathering which religious experience demands. What we observe here is the fundamental law of life, enantiodromia, or conversion into the opposite. And it is this that makes possible the reunion of the warring halves of the personality, and thereby brings the civil war to an end. End of quote. The wolf. There's no way of getting around it, is there? The gull isn't rapacious or greedy. It's
Make
just
some
that
noise,
his being
brothers and
alive at all
sisters.
is the same thing as eating crabs.
Last song?
Seabirds are transformations of fish. Men are transformations of wheat, chickens and steers. And the love for the food is the agony of the food. To object to this inseparability of pleasure and pain, life and death, is simply to object to existence.
To object to this is simply to object to existence. To object to this is simply to object to existence. Only man will reflect on all that is left, on pleasure and pain, on life and on death. To object to this is simply to object to existence.
But of course, we cannot help objecting when the time comes. Objecting to pain is pain. So far as we know, the gull and the fish don't philosophize. They enjoy life when they're eating it and hate it when being eaten. They don't reflect upon the process as a whole and say, how rough it is that we have to work so hard for a living, or it's just hell having to wash out all the time for those gulls. I'm sure that in their world, this is something that just goes along with life, like having eyes or feet. But man, with his astonishing ability to stand aside from himself and think about himself, in short, to comment on life, man has done something which confuses his own existence down to its roots. For the more sensitive he is, the more man finds the very act of living in conflict with his moral conscience.
To object to this is simply to object to existence. To object to this is simply to object to existence. Only man will reflect on all that is left, on pleasure and pain, on life and on death. To object to this is simply to object to existence.
Upon reflection, a universe so arranged that there is no way of living except by destroying other lives seems to be a hideous mistake, not a divine, but a devilish creation. Of course, there's the myth that once upon a time things were quite otherwise, that there was no death, that the lion lay down with the lamb. But that since then there has been a fall, a vast error, which has corrupted the whole of nature. All that must have been eons ago. Perhaps in some other galaxy, where the conditions of life were quite different. Or perhaps the ghastly mistake was just that step in man's evolution, which made it possible for him to comment, to reflect upon life as a whole, in being able to stand aside from life and think about it. He put himself outside it and found it alien.
To object to this is simply to object to existence. To object to this is simply to object to existence. Only man will reflect on all that is left, on pleasure and pain, on life and on death. To object to this is simply to object to existence. Hey! To object to this is simply to object to existence. To object to this is simply to object to existence. Only man will reflect on all that is left, on pleasure and pain, on life and on death. To object to this is simply to object to existence.
To object to this from the album This Is Why I Love the Ocean, which came out earlier this year. What an insane song. It's kind of crazy listening to that after having listened to some of the earlier WATTSWAVE songs. Who would have thought when those very early ones were created that we would end up in that kind of sonic territory? Hope you've had a nice time tonight, brothers and sisters. There are so many, you know, we could WATTSWAVE stream for all day. We could WATTSWAVE stream all day. That's how many songs there are. But I'm happy to tell you that more are coming. More is on the way. You're going to be very happy. The levels are only going to continue to increase. And with that being said, I think we have time for one more. Dontron.
I think our difficulty is that our consciousness is too superficial, as if all our sensation were in the tips of the fingers and not in the palm. Our comments on life are insufficiently balanced by the clear sensation that what we are talking about is ourselves, and ourselves in a sense far more basic and real than that extra circuit which knows knowing.
I love the ocean. This is why I love the sea. 'Cause it's the most difficult part of nature to mess up with symptoms of man's disease.
Are we misled by the fact that we move freely on the earth and aren't rooted to it in the same way as trees to the ground and fingers to the hand? Were we as spatially distant from the earth as one atom of an orange from another? I suppose we should be somewhere out by the moon. Now we know that the atom, molecule, cell, or subordinate organ of any particular organism is what it is by virtue of its place and its membership in the pattern of the whole. Blood in a test tube is rapidly ceasing to be the same thing as blood in veins. In the same way, man must beware lest in cutting himself off psychically from the world that he sees, so isolating the subject from the object, lest in doing this he rapidly ceases to be man. So I think this is why I love the ocean. It's the most difficult part of nature to mess up with emblems and symptoms of man's dissociated consciousness.
This is why I love the ocean. This is why I love the sea. 'Cause it's the most difficult part of nature to mess up with symptoms of man's disease. This is why I love the ocean. This is why I love the sea. 'Cause it's the most difficult part of nature to mess up with symptoms of man's disease. This is why I love the sea. This is why I love the sea.
It's an environment
This is why
in which the awareness of our roots can awaken, in which space, so real because of the light and color, can be seen to be joining things instead of separating. Yes. And I've just discovered that knocking on the wall of space and consciousness was my own heart beating.
Yo, Greenbirds, appreciate you. To everyone, glad I got to experience this moment with all of you. Wonderful human being. That's right. Of course that's right. Thank you for being here, brothers and sisters. Big shouts out to everyone who supported the stream. Doctor in the TARDIS, Andrew Pullman, Shecky Babao, Zeus Laser, Castle Survival, Cedric Taj, Chris Tubendorf, Amanda Dancers. Big shouts out Green Buds and Fam. Shouts out to our sponsor, Datsu Sara. Check out dsgear.com. Fine hemp sustainable swag. Also, if you want to support Meaning Wave, head on over to meaningwave.com. Keep abreast of all Meaning Wave activities. Check out vinyl, CDs, merch, and a support button where you can work out how, well, you work out, it's very obvious how you can send us a one-off donation or join the Patreon. Zeus Laser! This is why I love the streams. Big shouts out to the Dontron. This is why. 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 This is why.
Why I love the ocean.
Thank you for being here. We'll be back.
Now you may say, I need some help in this process, and therefore I am going to find someone else to help me. It may be a therapist. It may be a clergyman. It may be a guru. It may be any kind of person who teaches a technique of self-improvement. Now, how will you know whether this person is able to teach you? How can you judge, for example, whether a psychotherapist is effective or just a charlatan? How can you judge whether a guru is himself spiritually wise or merely a good chatterbox? Well, of course, you ask your friends, you ask his other students or patients, and they're all, of course, enthusiastic. You have to be enthusiastic when you bought something expensive. If you bought an automobile which turned out to be a lemon, it's very difficult to admit that it was a lemon and that you were fooled. And it's the same when you buy a religion or an expensive operation. But what people do not sufficiently realize is that when you pick an authority, whether it's a psychotherapeutic one or a religious one, you chose it. chose it. You chose it. You chose it. In other words, that this fellow or this book or this system is the right one is your opinion. And how are you competent to judge? After all, if you're saying to this other person or other source, I think you are the authority, that's your opinion. So you cannot really judge whether an authority is a sound authority unless you yourself are a sound authority. Otherwise, you may just be being fooled. You may say, for example, I believe that the Bible is the Word of God. All right, that's your opinion. I know the Bible says it's the Word of God, but it's your opinion that the Bible is not lying. The church says the Bible is the Word of God, but it's your opinion that the church is right. You cannot escape from that situation. It's your opinion. You chose it. You chose it. You chose it. You chose it.
Lucky. So I was just switching off the stream. I was like, oh, let me give him one more song. And then I saw an email from Chris, the aforementioned Chris at Datsusara. Big fans of the show, of the MEANINGWAVE in general, who informed me that if you use the code MEANINGWAVE, lowercase, at checkout, you'll get 10% off your order. If I'd known that earlier, I could have told you earlier, but I did not know that earlier, and I did not tell you earlier, but I'm telling you now. Our very first sponsor, which is Datsusara even, at dsgear.com, is giving you 10% off if you use code MEANINGWAVE at checkout. So there you go. Last minute announcement. You Toast is happy. He says, let's go. No way. You chose. You chose. You chose.
The world will ask you who you are, and if you don't know, it will tell you. Program or be programmed. MEANINGWAVE. Watch your own brain.